Hi, this is Jonathan Rosenhead, a Torah and Psychotherapist. This week's Torah and Psychology post of Parshas Lecha is titled The Psychology of Beauty, because in this week's Parsha, Avraham and Sarah are approaching Mitzrayim, and Avraham says to Sarah, I know that you are beautiful, and there's a chance that when the people in Mitzrayim see you, they will be attracted to your beauty, and they will kill me and want to take you. So instead of saying that you are my wife, you should say that you are my sister. And hopefully through that, as the Pasuk says, I will live. And interestingly, Avram says, I will also gain through you, because of you. Which Rashi explains to mean that he will get gifts. And the Sifsei Chacham clarifies this, that Avram Avinu is not someone who's going after gifts and trying to benefit and get presents from the Mitzrayim, but rather he wants smaller gifts, meaning hopefully through Sarah, he will get food and drink and somewhere to sleep for a little bit. So what we see from these Pesukim, is that Avraham Avinu appreciated the beauty, the power of beauty, the psychology of beauty, and how it has this effect. Because he understood that there was a risk that the Mitzrayim will look at the beauty and will be attracted to Sarah, and they will want to take her and kill him. And he also understood, perhaps in reverse as well, that he could benefit. There's a market value of beauty, that through Sarah, through her physical appearance, that is attractive to them, he will be able to get food and drink and somewhere to sleep. So let's look at this a bit further. What does psychology say about beauty? When psychology looks at beauty, it sees it as being multifaceted, that it functions on different levels, through different processes, through cognitive, emotional, and also biological. It's functioning in different ways, the way that we process beauty. And all these factors together leads to this power, this effect of beauty, that we find it appealing and attractive. That we see in dating, in shidduchim, there's this focus, at least initially, on physical appearance, on attraction. There's the attention bias to what we find appealing, physical appearance that we find beautiful and attractive. Hopefully, as things go on, there's obviously deeper level of focusing on a person's character, on their values, on their personality. But there is this superficial level, and at least initially, there's this attention bias, this tendency to focus on what is beautiful. And also, as we said, a market value in marketing and economics. There's the use of beauty that helps to increase sales. And instead, we can just look at life in general. In our interactions in life, there's this hardwiring, that we're hardwired to focus on what is attractive and what is beautiful, and we find that more appealing. And I think if we look at psychology, and we can see how it functions through these different levels: biological, emotional, psychological, cognitive. And the fact that we are hardwired to appreciate what is beautiful, I think it's telling us that it's based on a premise that beauty is good. That this hardwiring is telling us that there's something positive and good about beauty. And that is what leads to its effect and the power of beauty in itself. And if we try to understand this, it goes beyond the surface level, the superficial level of beauty, of finding it appealing, and we are able to gain a deeper understanding, because it leads us to understanding what is good about beauty. And this is what the Torah tells us, because also in Torah, in Judaism, there's a place for aesthetics, for beauty. And the Gemara in Shabbos teaches us about the idea of hiddur mitzvah, that when we perform mitzvahs, we can do it in a beautiful way. It lists different objects, such as the lulav, esrog, sefer Torah, that we can try to, when we're performing a mitzvah, we can try to look for what is the most beautiful object, what is the most beautiful way of performing the mitzvah. And this is the fundamental principle, and what's underneath this idea of hiddur mitzvah. And that's what we see in halacha and in Judaism. There is a place for aesthetics, there's a place for beauty. But not because of a superficial level, of the surface level of attraction, but rather what it leads to through hiddur mitzvah is a greater connection to Hashem, a greater enjoyment and pleasure and appreciation for the mitzvahs that we are performing. And this leads to a desire to want to have a stronger connection, to learn, to know more, to understand more, and to appreciate the value of this connection and the value of mitzvahs. Because if we say that we judge a book by a cover, that perhaps that's true. We do judge a book by its cover. Physical appearance has this pull. But what we can say is we want to go deeper. We judge a book by its cover, which will then lead to wanting to then open this book and to read it and to learn and to understand and to build a connection. And that is what is the psychology of beauty. That is what's good, this connection, this hardwiring of beauty and good, is because it leads us to want to go deeper and to understand and to build a connection. And so hopefully we can appreciate it, just like Avram Avinu understood the power of beauty, but we can use this message and the message of the Torah to want to have a greater connection, to perform mitzvahs to the best that we can, of Hiddur mitzvah as well, to build this connection and understanding through Torah and mitzvahs and a connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Have a great Shabbos and keep well.